Hello everyone, SquaredCircle Wrestling is back with another news episode which includes Becky Lynch had a crush on current AEW megastar. Former two-time WWE Divas champion and current AEW star claims she always wanted to be a Paul Heyman girl. Dwayne Johnson The Rock to return to the ring at Wrestlemania 40. Major update on Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks signing new contracts. WWE has a Seth Rollins problem. And much more. You can check out the complete list and its time chapters in the description below. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest news. Our first story looks at Becky Lynch had a crush on current AEW megastar. Current WWE superstar Becky Lynch started watching wrestling at a young age. The former Raw Women's Champion then began her wrestling training as a teenager. While she admired WWE Hall of Famer Lita growing up, the man had a crush on was none other than the former WWE Champion Jeff Hardy. During a live talk show with Gorilla Position, Lynch revealed that the charismatic enigma was her first wrestling crush. The former SmackDown Women's Champion shared the locker room with him for about 4 years between 2017 and 2021 before Jeff Hardy left to join his brother Matt at AEW. While Jeff Hardy was her first crush, the man started dating another superstar, Seth Rollins, in 2019. The couple announced their engagement later that same year. In June 2021, they happily got married. Next up, former two-time WWE Divas champion and current AEW star claims she always wanted to be a Paul Heyman girl. WWE veteran manager Paul Heyman has been responsible for putting over many stars to the top of the card in WWE. However, the legendary manager Paul Heyman has never managed a female wrestler, and AEW superstar Saraya, formerly known as Paige in WWE, recently admitted that she wanted to be the first Paul Heyman girl. Across her 11 years career with WWE, Saraya reached many milestones, but during her NXT tenure, she became one of the most dominating stars in Black and Gold brand. Notably, upon her main roster debut, she even captured the WWE Divas Championship, which set her up for a main eventer career. During her recent appearance on Superstar Crossover, Saraya recalled how badly she wanted to be managed by Paul Heyman. "I wanted to be a Paul Heyman girl so bad. Everyone wanted to be a Paul Heyman girl. And I even said to him that I wanted to be a Paul Heyman girl. I was in his book. He put me in his book, and I was like, oh my god, I love you." Next up, Dwayne Johnson The Rock to return to the ring at Wrestlemania 40. The Rock is reportedly set to make a comeback to the WWE ring with next year's Wrestlemania 40. WWE fans have been eagerly waiting to witness an electrifying match between The Rock and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns for the last couple of years. Last year, it was rumored that The Rock might make his WWE return at WrestleMania 39. However, the plans were cancelled eventually due to Dwayne Johnson's movie schedule and other professional commitments. But the latest reports suggest that Dwayne Johnson might come back to the ring with WrestleMania 40. According to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE is hoping to witness the comeback of Dwayne Johnson The Rock to the ring at WrestleMania 40. The Rock left a crack in the door after declining the offer to mark his return to the ring in Los Angeles for this year's Mania. He turned down this year due to schedule. Dwayne Johnson left a crack in the door open about possibly doing Philadelphia at WrestleMania 40 next year. But that was far from a commitment and certainly nothing anyone should count on happening. Would you like to see The Rock vs Roman Reigns at the grandest stage of them all? Let us know in the comments section below. Next up, major update on Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks signing new contracts. AEW is still negotiating new contract deals with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, according to a couple of reports that dropped this week. News that Kenny Omega hasn't been locked into a new deal popped up earlier this year, and he's reportedly currently making up the time he missed due to injury in late 2021 through mid-2022. Conan, the booker for AAA, recently noted that negotiations are still ongoing. This resulted in Omega not being booked for Triplemania 31. That show will instead be headlined by El Hijo del Vikingo defending his Triple Omega Championship against Commander, Impact Wrestling's Rich Swann and AEW's Swerve Strickland. Conan said, "Well, originally, we were gonna bring in Kenny Omega, but he was still negotiating with AEW and he wasn't sure if he was gonna stay or not. So, we couldn't commit. He didn't want to commit to our show until he signed, so that was out the window. After that, we asked for a couple people from AEW. They weren't available, and then we asked for another guy and he was hurt, and so basically who we ended up getting Swerve Strickland, who I have no problem with because he may not have the name value of other people, but he's an incredible wrestler. I was with him in Lucha Underground," he added. "I'm assuming he re-signed. I never really asked him, but there are plans for him in the future, so I'm thinking he already signed, you know. He wasn't sure if he was gonna stay and WWE was talking with him, so we couldn't get him to commit." Next up, WWE has a Seth Rollins problem. After his outrageous entrance during Night 1 of WrestleMania 39, there is no doubt Seth Rollins is one of WWE's biggest superstars. Pro wrestling is unlike any other form of entertainment because it creates a unique relationship between its performers and the fans. For months, the visionary, Seth Rollins, has acted as the conductor for his devoted fans as they sing his theme song loud, and the chorus grows louder every time he graces the squared circle. But it was noted by some critics that His current character work may not intrigue some staunch critics of WWE's brand of sports entertainment, but he has consistently remained popular with the company and caught lightning in a bottle even after some would say his career peaked. It's a bit surprising that WWE hasn't capitalized on his work and did not rely on him as a main eventer again. The company has a track record of wasting a momentum or stubbornly pushing back against the demand for a hot act like Rusev. WWE might not consider his character as the face of the company. They will not want it to be their company's representation to the world. Would you like to see the Visionary as the face of WWE again? Let us know in the comments. Next up, multi-time WWE champion unlikely to make appearance at AEW All-In. Pre-sale interest for the All-In London event racked up huge numbers. Obviously, the UK pro wrestling fan base is very excited about this event. There are a lot of possibilities, but one surprise isn't likely. One fan asked Dave Meltzer if Bret Hart can appear at Wembley for an ovation at the AEW event in August, or is he under a Legends contract for WWE that prevents him from doing so. His response was a very interesting one, because the Hitman would have probably already been in AEW if he was going to show up. I don't know 100%, but my impression is no, because one would think if he could, he would have been with FTR on an AEW show by now. Next up, the Elite reportedly refusing to work with WWE veteran at AEW. A new report has emerged about the AEW future of CM Punk following the Brawl-Out incident in 2022. The former two-time AEW champion has not been seen in a wrestling capacity since the backstage altercation with the Elite following AEW All-Out 2022. As such, there has been a degree of uncertainty over his future with the company, not only in AEW but wrestling altogether. But that doesn't appear to be at the behest of CM Punk. Fightful Select reports that Punk has repeatedly told the promotion that he wants to return. It was noted he is said to have laid out numerous scenarios for his return, including a willingness to work with the Elite even after Brawl It All Out. However, the report further states that the trio didn't seem keen on doing that after the altercation. As of a few months ago, it's unknown whether their stance has changed during contract negotiations with AEW. Punk is also said to have expressed a willingness to return and remain completely separate from the Elite. It was noted that some talents believe a rumored upcoming SETI show could aid that with roster parity, but that particular is unconfirmed with higher-ups in the promotion. Next up, current champion signed a long-term deal with AEW. After ages of speculation and uncertainty, AEW star and current Ring of Honor champion Brian Cage has reportedly decided to sign a new deal with the Tony Khan's promotion. It was rumored since months that the Ring of Honor six-man tag team champion was unhappy in the promotion, and that he was angling for a move to WWE. However, a new report from Fightful Select suggests that Cage is staying. According to the report, the Machine signed a new multi-year contract with AEW this week. It was noted that Cage's old deal with the promotion had effectively ended at midnight after the Supercard of Honor show that took place over WrestleMania weekend. Talent from both sides of the promotional divide had supposedly spoken to the Swolverine, but he ultimately decided to stay under Tony Khan's roof alongside his teammates in the embassy. FTR reveal length of their new AEW contracts. During Wednesday's Rampage tapings after Dynamite, FTR's Cash Wheeler announced to the crowd that they had signed a new 4-year deal with the company. The duo said that after this 4-year deal was up, they would retire from pro wrestling. Dax Harwood on his podcast this week confirmed that he and Wheeler had re-signed with AEW, citing the relationship between them and Tony Khan as one of the major reasons why the two decided to stay with the company. Harwood also said that the best course of action for Wheeler, and his family was to remain in AEW. Next up, AEW star expresses desire to go to WWE. AEW star Bandito, who is signed to AEW, has said that he'd like to go to WWE in a new interview. The revelation comes off the back of Cody Rhodes' incredibly successful year in WWE after quitting AEW last year. Back in October, Bandito rejected a deal from WWE to join AEW, but has since admitted that he'd like to go to WWE and work for the competition before his career is up. At some point, I'd like to go to WWE. Not in this moment, but I hope later. I was in WWE. It's worth noting that Bandito isn't saying he's unhappy in AEW, or wants to quit now to join WWE, but he's admitted he'd quite like to work there at some stage in his career, which is definitely an interesting revelation. Next up, reason why WWE booked Brock Lesnar vs. Cody Rhodes for WWE Backlash. Cody Rhodes challenged Brock Lesnar for a match at WWE Backlash after getting beaten by the Beast in the episode of Raw after WrestleMania. PW Insider reports that Brock Lesnar was not on Raw this week because he was on a family vacation. He will be on next week's show, as WWE has already advertised. The Beast Incarnate will answer Cody Rhodes' Backlash challenge. To nobody's surprise, Brock Lesnar is going to accept that match against Cody Rhodes. There is a reason why this match is going down in Puerto Rico and not Saudi Arabia, where they could garner a lot of cash for the matchup. It was further reported that the Brock Lesnar vs. Cody Rhodes match is taking place at Backlash as a promotional deal with Puerto Rico. The event will serve as a promotion for the area, and even more marquee matches are expected to be announced. And finally, another star makes debut for AEW. Tony Khan is making headlines again as AEW introduced indie megastar Daisy Kay to their roster through his debut on AEW Dark. In his debut match, Daisy Kay fought against Josh Woods in a hard-fought battle. While Woods ultimately came out on top with a victory, Daisy Kay showed great potential and proved that he belongs in the ring with the best of them. Before joining AEW, Daisy Kay had already made a name for himself on the independent circuit, holding the SPCW championship. His pro debut may have only been in 2021, but he has already trained under the guidance of the legendary Dr. Tom Pritchard. With AEW continuing to shake up the wrestling world, it's exciting to see what the future holds for Daisy Kay. Fans can look forward to seeing more of him in the ring as he develops his skills and makes his mark. And that is all for today's news. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel Squared Circle Wrestling and press the bell icon to never miss out on any update. Thank you for watching till end.